Good evening, Tirunelveli Toastmasters. I am Toastmaster Vivekanandan from Tuticorin. I am the divisional parliamentarian for our division. I am doing business in Tuticorin. How many of you have heard about the word Kuda Volai system? Kuda Volai system.
I hear.
So, what's it?
So it is a system that consists of the
Kind of
candidate
voting
names,
system.
and then there will be a basket and the seats will be digged in, and the random person will be picking up a card and he will be the elected candidate.
Yeah, that's right. So this is a simple form of parliamentary democracy which evolved in the Chola kingdom under the rulership of Parandaga Chola first. It dates back to 1907 AD. If you move towards west, the British parliamentary system evolved slowly. And in 1560, a book was written by Sir Thomas Smith. This is known as the Westminster system. Great Britain and the erstwhile commonwealths like India follow the Westminster system of parliamentary procedures. As Toastmasters is a US-based organization, we follow this book, Robert's Rule of Order. This book was written by Brigadier General Henry Martin Robert in the year 1876. With this, Toastmasters, let us go into a brief introduction to parliamentary procedures. Can someone please share the screen, please? Before I start this session, I profoundly thank and express my gratitude to our district parliamentarian, distinguished Toastmaster Sivaraj Piramuthu, who gave me this PPT, and I am sharing it word by word as he shared that. So all I speak is our DTM's words, and let's move into the subject. So what is parliamentary procedures? It is a system of rules and regulations formulated with the following objectives: to maintain decorum. A meeting must be following some systems, procedures, and conducted in an orderly way. It should not be a free for all. How many of you have seen the Indian Parliament in the TV? You will see the parliamentarians going to the well of the house and shouting slogans, throwing objects, and creating a mayhem. This is not how a parliamentary session has to be conducted. It has to be conducted with the decorum. The next main thing is to ascertain the will of the majority. In a club or in an organization, there will be differing ideas. Each one may have his or her own idea, but a decision has to be taken by taking into view that of the majority. But at the same time, the chairperson or the president has to safeguard the rights of the minority also. It has to be tactfully handled so that the minority interest is also safeguarded. And the next objective is to facilitate orderly transaction of business. What is transacting business means? Conducting the session in an orderly manner by which the agenda is followed. Next page, please. There are some basic definitions in parliamentary procedures. So quorum is the minimum number of members need to be present in any meeting. Constitution, as you know, India has a constitution, which is the basic law of the country. Like that, every organization will have a constitution which spells out the basic rules and regulations of that organization. Bylaws. See, for example, if there is a theory, if constitution is a theory, the practice is bylaws. How you conduct the constitution in a systematic manner is explained in the bylaws. Next one, please. Standing rules. This is also some sort of administrative guidelines for the organization. So main motion, let us talk in detail during the course of this presentation. Presiding officer is the president or whoever conducts the meeting. So next one. So let us go into some main concepts in the Constitution. Article 4, Section 1 and 2, meetings and notices. Regular meetings of the clubs, which shall include the business meetings of active individual members. So underline the word active individual members. If a member comes once a year, he's not an active member. Shall be held as provided in the addendum. Addendum means bylaw or attachment to the Constitution. Special business meetings. So let us see what's the difference between a normal meeting or a regular meeting. Regular meeting, as all of us know, consists of 3 segments, which consists of prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. But special meetings are conducted with a different purpose. The special business meeting may be called by majority of the members. So what Toastmasters International as well as our District 120 wants now is to conduct at least one business meet every month. It may take maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending upon the volume of business you do. To make things simpler, if you conduct a business meet every week, you can conduct it within 5 to 7 minutes. So how to conduct a business meeting, we will discuss during the course of this program. So again, we have a definition for the quorum. A majority of active members, individual members, shall constitute a quorum for the general body. See, for example, if your club has 20 active members, you should have a quorum of at least 10 members, minimum 10 or 11 members, because majority means 51%. So let us say it must be at least 11 members. And if you have a ExCom of 7, that also should have a majority present as a quorum. So it has to be at least four members of the ExCom to be present to constitute a quorum. And any meeting conducted without the minimum quorum is null and void. Any decision taken in such a meeting cannot be considered as a decision. It cannot be recorded in the minutes book. Next one, please. So another main thing is, once in a while, I think your club is conducting the ExCom meeting, and all the decisions of the ExCom meeting has to be reported to the general body. Otherwise, the decisions of the ExCom will become null and void. So every month, if you conduct a meeting, please place the minutes of your ExCom meeting before the general body and get it ratified, because the ExCom officers are not the owners of the club. They are authorized by the other members to conduct certain activities over a period of time. So the ExCom is reportable to the general body, and all the decisions of the ExCom has to be reported to the general body at least once a month, and it has to be recorded and ratified. Otherwise, the decisions of ExCom will become null and void. Next, please. So what's a business meeting? As far as Toastmasters is concerned, in a business meeting, we transact other than regular matters. So what are the other matters? We plan our future activities and we review our past activities, and we also take some important decisions, conduct elections, like that. And we also ratify the ExCom meeting decisions in the general body, in a business meeting. Next, please. So what's the benefit of conducting business meetings? Transparency is the main thing. First of all, the ExCom committee meeting decisions taken, if kept within themselves, without being reported to the general body and without being getting ratified the general body, will create power centers, or it will make decision making opaque. So if you place the decisions before the general body, things become transparent. All the members know what's happening in the club in a transparent manner. And ethical. The logical step, next step is ethical practice. So once you are transparent, you become ethical. You keep everything open. When my hand is open, there's nothing to hide. So by being transparent, you achieve your next objective, being ethical. Interests of members are protected. So this is another logical step by which all the members' interests are protected. Because if there is something negative in the ExCom, and when it's shared before the general body, counter ideas will be promoted, will be discussed and decided, so that the interest of all members will be safeguarded. Like that, the executive committee members, ExCom committee members' actions also will be protected. So once the ExCom make their decisions open, by getting ratified, the ExCom minutes become a recorded minute, and things become more transparent, more ethical, and it protects the ExCom members also. Next one, please. So how the meeting is conducted? As I said, the presiding officer, the president or the chairperson, conducts the meeting. Unfortunately, I don't have a gavel. The meeting is called to order by the presiding officer by rap of the gavel. So to start a meeting or to call to order meeting, the gavel is tapped twice. The secretary then reads the minutes of the earlier meeting. Then the members present passes the minutes, or they give their acceptance to the minutes of the earlier meeting. And before that, there's a very important role for the secretary. He or she should ascertain the quorum is present. It's very important. As I said earlier, there is no quorum, there is no meaning in conducting any meeting. So the secretary has to ascertain if the quorum is present. Recently, our District 120 is requesting each and every club to have a parliamentarian. Parliamentarian is an advisor to the president and secretary. The parliamentarian can assist the secretary and president to ensure smooth conduct of the meeting, to ensure that the constitution is held up, the bylaws are followed, and the meeting is conducted in a proper parliamentary way. After the members approve the minutes of the earlier meeting, any matters arising out of the minutes are discussed in the meeting. This is next followed by the club officers report. If the secretary or the treasurer or the president has some reports to make to the general body, he or she can give the report to the general body. Next, please. Like that, there can be standing committees for education, for membership, etc. And they also can give their committee reports. And if there are any special committees, see, for example, you want to conduct a general elocution competition for the public, and there is a committee to conduct that elocution contest, the committee can submit the report of how the contest was conducted for the general public. For information, last year we conducted open to all competition in Tuticorin. It was a grand success. In fact, we ended up in getting membership also out of that contest. Next, please. So other business like new member induction and any nomination for the committee or election of office bearers and installation of club officers by the area director also will be conducted during the business meeting. Old business. If any business has been left undone in the last meeting, they can be continued in this meeting. That is old business. And next comes the new business. Let us discuss that in the next part. It's a very important subject. This is why we are assembled here, the new business, how to conduct new business in Toastmasters. And when all is over, the meeting is adjourned by the presiding officer by rap of the gavel once. Next page, please. Motion. What is motion? Motion is simply a proposal. For example, I am a member of Tuticorin Toastmasters Club and I want to get something done in the club. For example, I propose or I make a motion that the members of Tuticorin Toastmasters Club go on a picnic to Kodaikanal. This is my proposal, or this is expressed as a motion to the floor of the house, which is the general body. So before a member proposes, he, she, or has to raise the hand, address the chair and say, Mr. President, I have a proposal or I have a motion. Then a motion just by expression by one member is not sufficient. A motion has to be seconded by another member. Why a secondment is important? An idea can be worth or worthless. So my idea has already bought over by one of your members who has seconded the proposal or the motion. Unless a motion or a proposal is seconded, it is dead and buried. If it is seconded, it goes to the next step. The presiding officer places motion before the group. So the presiding officer acknowledges that a motion has come before him or her, telling that so-and-so Toastmaster Vivekanandan has made a proposal that Tuticorin Toastmasters Club go on a picnic to Kodaikanal. Then the motion becomes the property of the house. It is open for discussion. There may be two sides of this story. Some people may say yes. Some people may say no. So the people who say yes will be given an opportunity to talk first. So it's called a debate. So the first, some supporters will say, I support this for this reason. At the same time, the next side will be given the chance. Somebody may say no. They may say, now it will be raining in Kodaikanal. We should not go to Kodaikanal. So it's the other way, other side of the story. So this discussion can happen for a while, maybe a couple of minutes. And then the motion is put into vote. There are a couple of ways of getting a vote done. It can be a voice vote. The president will say, those who want to support this motion of Toastmaster Vivekanandan say yay. Those who don't support say no. The people who don't say no, they will say nay. Those who support, they say yay. Then the president will say the nays are more than the A's are more than nays. So the motion is passed. And if there is confusion in this, then that may be a show of hands. Those who support this, raise your hands. So they will count. Those who don't support it, raise your hands. They will count that. So for example, out of 20, say 11 are raising for yes, and 9 are saying no, then the majority is yes. So the motion is passed. It becomes a resolution. Once a motion is passed, it becomes a resolution because it has been resolved that the members of Tuticorin Toastmasters Club go to Kodaikanal for a picnic. Then the presiding officer announces the result telling so many have voted for, so many have voted against. So with this, let us go to the next page. See, this is a big statement. It's confusing me. I can't read, first of all. Even with glass, I can't read it. Sorry. So this statement contains about 23 different types of motions. The first 13 in this are in the order of precedence. For example, if the number 1 precedes number 2. For example, if someone is raising number 2 and if someone raises number 1, that gets precedence over number 2. Like that, the order of precedence is given to the first 13 and others are without any precedence. And 13 of these resolutions, they require simple majority of 51%. And 5 of the motions require 2/3 majority. See, 66% or 67% have to vote to pass such resolutions. In business, we call them as special resolutions, where 2/3 majority is required. For example, in company general body meetings, special resolutions require 2/3 majority. 6 motions doesn't require a seconder. Something like point of privilege, point of order, question, avoid unnecessary questions, then division of assembly to get the correct voting and all these doesn't require a seconder. Otherwise, all other than the 6, all the other balance 17s require a seconder. And if there's no seconder, as I said earlier, it becomes null and void. And if the meeting goes out of control, people start shouting here and there, and they start seeing the phones, start sending texts, WhatsApp, and disturb the atmosphere of the general body, the presiding officer can rap the gavel thrice and bring order back to the flow. You can see in many cinemas where the judge will tap order, 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 like that. By tapping thrice or rapping thrice, you can bring order back to the flow. Next one, please. Okay, before we go to the question answer session, I, as a college student, in 1981, was first exposed to parliamentary procedures in another international organization where this was misused. See, a knife can be used to cut the fruit. At the same time, you can use it to stab someone. So like that, parliamentary procedures is used to conduct meeting in an orderly manner. But at the same time, there are certain peoples who are too much enthusiastic and who use or misuse parliamentary procedures in an unwanted way. So my word of caution is, please use parliamentary procedures in a productive, positive manner so that the club meetings, the club business meetings are conducted in an orderly manner, in a systematic manner, so that you can govern your club in a more organized way. The biggest advantage of having this parliamentary procedures inculcated into Toastmasters is to set up systems by which the club continues to grow. Office bearers may come, office bearers may go, but the club has to live. Future members have to join. So use it diligently in a positive manner so that members develop in their ladder, in their Toastmasters ladder of learning and using new systems in their club activities and also in your business and in your social life in other organizations. And with this, if you have any questions, you can ask me, provided I know, because To be honest, this is the first training session I am conducting as a trainer, and all the credit goes to distinguished Toastmaster Sivaraj, who gave me the lovely PPT. And if any questions, I will answer you if I know the answer. Members, questions?
Toastmaster Vivekanand and Bharat here.
Yeah,
I
Bharat.
have two questions from my side.
Okay.
Question number one goes like this. You have been telling that every club has been recommended to have a in-house parliamentarian.
Yes.
Can an existing ExCom be taken the role of a parliamentarian of the club, or has it to be a non-ExCom member?
It is better to have a non-ExCom member, because this is not a ExCom role. This is something like a consultant role. A parliamentarian is like a traffic warden. So just to funnel the activities in a proper manner. So it's not an ExCom role, and it doesn't get any DTM credits. It's just a support role. Better you have someone from other than the ExCom member.
All right. My second question goes like this. While conducting the meetings on a regular basis, if any member objects to a motion or a decision taken by the ExCom, say a month ago or 2 months ago, can that be happening in the club? My question is, what is the time limit or what is the time frame within which a member can raise an objection on a ExCom's decision regarding the club activities?
See, basically, District 120 prefers to have a meeting once a month. So if you conduct a meeting once a month, all the ExCom decisions will be ratified within the next month. So don't delay any ratification. Try to get it ratified within 1 month. So for example, if you have 4 club meetings or in this month, in October, the first week of November, you conduct a business meeting for 10 to 15 minutes in which you ratify all the last month's ExCom decisions, so that it doesn't become too long. Like that, a single member objection is an objection, but that has to be brought before the floor. It has to be debated, put into vote, and if the vote goes against the decision of the ExCom's resolution may fail.
All right, thank you.
Vivekanandan, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate you for doing a wonderful session today. Generally, this parliamentary procedure is supposed to be one of the boring sessions, but you made it so interesting. No, seriously, because I have attended these sessions through JCs as well. All these organizations, they bring in this concept of parliamentary procedure, and I'm happy that Toastmasters is bringing in it more seriously now. Because when you work in a social organization or a social setup, as you rightly said, it's no one individual's property. Toastmasters is no one's property. We are all the custodians of Toastmasters, and we are here to do the role we are expected to do as a president or whatever it is. And this particular parliamentary procedure gives a very fair idea or a fair opportunity for everybody to express their views and make the right type of decisions rather than bulldozing some ideas on somebody. So I think it's a great point. And that's what Vivekanand said. I just wanted to share this with the club members in Tirunelveli. Like we are planning to have once in a month business session. So similarly, you also can have a business session once in a month. Other than the regular normal meetings, you have one meeting, maybe first meeting or the second meeting. You decide on one particular meeting of the month as a business session, and whatever decisions you want to take. Because as of now, like what Vivekanandan is saying, in our club, only the ExCom is deciding. So ExCom decides, and we tell what we are going to do in the club. But we can also involve the club members in taking this type of decisions. So we can probably bring it to the table, get it approved. Because what happens when one of the reasons members leave an organization is because they don't feel heard. Nobody is hearing my points. Nobody is asking me anything. So if that can be addressed, then everybody feels a sort of ownership and involvement in the club also. So I just wanted to add these 2 points, and Vivekanandan, great job. Congratulations.
And area director sir and Toastmaster Vivekanandan to counter or to ask another question based on what you have been giving as an input. In our club, in past 3 to 4 months, we have taken certain decisions based on the input received from the members, not as a business meet, not as an argument, but as a voting system. We, in fact, we were earlier having the meetings on Wednesdays, but since Wednesday happened to be a weekdays and it affects many office goers, we were planning to shift it to weekend. So instead of going as a business debate, we took it to the members as a voting link. So will that be a healthy one, or is it advisable to go for a debate on that?
See, Toastmasters International is suggesting to have business meets as per their guidelines. So you have a lot of data available in the internet, and we can also share with you. So it's better we follow the system suggested by Toastmasters International, and we conduct business sessions at least once a month. See, if you make it weekly affair, it's just 5 minutes. You are just going to ratify the last week's meeting. And if there is any ExCom meeting, it's just a matter of 4 or 5 resolutions. So it's not a big deal. So the more volume you accumulate, it takes more time. So if you dispose of the decisions or the business done last week, this week, you won't have any carry forward stocks. So that will make life easier for you. So don't accumulate resolutions or don't accumulate minutes, and it will make the work easier for the secretary also. So here the role of secretary will increase because they have to minute everything and it has to be recorded. And if it has to be easier, it has to be done on a systematic manner. So you spend 5 minutes a week. So it won't be a big thing. So I think my time is out now. 30 minutes is over. Any more questions, friends?
Yeah, so just to add to Vivekananda's point, like what Bharat was saying, even in our club, we always used to use the Survey Monkey as one of the best tools to make any sort of decisions. But the problem is it doesn't get documented. So one thing we want in Toastmasters is who made the decision, when was the decision made? Let's say some changes happened in the organization. Who made the decision and when was this decision made, and whether there was a majority of people who approved it. So this is a sort of a document we have to say that the club officers ran the club as per the protocols of the club, and they didn't do things just what they wished or fancied to do. So I think in a way it is good for organizations, especially like Toastmasters, where there are so many controversies coming up, and I see a lot of problems happening in other clubs also. So this is
So
like
there is no
sort
need
of,
for ExCom members, isn't it, sir? So there's no more need for ExCom meetings.
No, it's not like that. ExCom has their role. So what all the decisions they take, they place it before the general body, that's all. So it doesn't mean that no role for ExCom. ExCom is there. They are the presiding officer. They are the secretaries and treasurers. So they run the show. They are the face of the club. But at the same time, business meetings make things known to the other members also. So it's a way of communicating with other members in a orderly, systematic manner and getting things recorded. So that when the scenes change later, when new teams come in, they will have systems and procedures and documents in hand which they can follow. So there's no need for repetition. If some decisions are taken and recorded, the new team will go through that, and there's no need for them to do it again and again and again. So it's easy for the future, the future generation, the newcomers.
Thank you.
Last question. I think if that's no ExCom, what will happen is the business meeting will take too long because at least here we bring in crystal things of here for you to debate. Otherwise, it will be too many unwanted things coming up and difficult to have a meeting within the time available to you.
No, what I meant is, do we need separate ExCom meets? If
Yeah,
we are
it is
going to
needed,
have a
but,
business meet every month.
yeah, we are having it because there are a lot of discussions like what is the progress of each member. Like the VP education gives a report about what is the progress of each member in the education ladder. VP membership is giving a report about what is he doing to improve the club membership. So basically, it is an accountability of the ExCom officers as to what they're doing to the president and the other members of the club. That is the purpose of a ExCom meeting. Thank you.
So, Vivekanandan sir, shall we?
Yeah. I hand over the control back to the TMOD, Toastmaster Guruparan. I thank Toastmaster Guruparan for contacting me and giving me this opportunity to share the views of those DTM Sivaraj as to parliamentary procedures, and hope Tirunelveli Toastmasters starts experimenting this tool to the betterment of the club. Back to you, Toastmaster Gurubaran. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vivekanandan.